Okay, so I made it up the stairs and I'm on the second floor now. What we have is, at the very top's another sort of vestibule with 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, and then the view down the stairs towards the front door. So basically I'll show you most of the rooms here. This is the side that looks over to the street. This also has the wide pine board floors. And it's got an area where the plaster's already coming down. There's a couple instructive things about the way the plaster is here. First, the plaster is always affixed to lath. And commercially available lath is like 1/2 inches by 2 inches wide. This stuff here is not really what we think of as lath. This is boards that have been split to create more places for the plaster to squeeze through when it's in place. So that tells you that this was plastered before lath became more generally used, and which is an inexpensive way of doing it, relatively speaking. And a lot of places did it this way. The next thing is, if you look through the spaces, we're in a sloping part of the house here, and there is no insulation whatsoever between the lath and plaster and the inside of the boards that are the outside of the house, the sheathing of the house. Part of the goal here is to insulate, and one of the tricky traditional things is how you insulate a sloping section of part of the roof. And you need to be thinking about ventilation and moisture when you do that, because if it's not done well, it's a problem, and it actually accelerates deterioration of the house and everything. We can't just leave that uninsulated, because that's an incredible source of heat loss up here. And you know, we've got gables on all parts of the house here, so that'll be one of the things. Now, the choice that I'm making is going to be to use foamed insulation. And you'll see that in future weeks or months in coming videos as it's done. It's more expensive, but it creates a heat envelope that that keeps most of the heat and moisture inside the house, and has been a significant change to how it goes. There's one window. I guess I should say this window doesn't have a screen on it. Just one piece of glass here. All the windows here have to be replaced with something more energy efficient. And then in this room, we've got this is directly above the parlor. In this room, we've got the chimney. And somewhere along the way, they recased that with sheetrock, and it looks like there's been a water leak as well. So we'll have to think about what to do with that. Pull chain light. There is no outlet in this room. Next room on this other side actually is another small thing which is listed as a bedroom. Again, you can see the water damage from around where the chimney was. Again, there is no electricity up here. Actually, there's no wall outlet, but there actually is one hanging chain. We're more likely to use this as a future second bathroom because it's directly above the bathroom downstairs. This is too small for a modern sized bedroom, I guess you'd have to say. And again, the window's going to have to be replaced. Now, this third door, well, I might as well open it. It opens up to a closet. And you got some sloping roof in here, which means this whole thing has to be ripped out in order to get foamed in insulation. But this is the place where we have the hobbit door. And I'm going to do a whole separate video inside about what's on the other side of that door, because it just makes me howl with delight to see that I have access to a whole nother part of the house that no one talks about. But so that's where it is, and you wouldn't know that that was in here. The fourth part of the upstairs is kind of what I would call the master bedroom. Same deal as before. It's got wooden floors. These are not 100% in the best possible shape. And it's got a gable closet here, which is actually good size. There aren't that many closets in this house, but this is one. This is another one where it's going to have to be taken out. Now, the interesting part about this part is, like where I'm poking this right here, that's some sort of compressed particle board or fiber board. And in fact, quite a bit of this room seems to have particle board and not plaster and lath. So this would have been redone somewhere, I'm guessing probably 1920, 1930, I don't know. But in terms of demolishing this room, it's going to be considerably less messy because the plaster, I assume, is gone. And what we have is 4 by 8 foot sheets of whatever that is to come down. Now, looking at the top here, we see that it's partly falling in, and that's because of previous water damage. And we see that that's actually been partly insulated, at least. So I'm going to have to take out the pink stuff. Now, we'll save the pink stuff for other insulation projects along the way. Although the particle board is slated to go to the dump or maybe be burned in the wood stove in the garage, basically we'll recycle the pink stuff in some way. It's got one light, which is that fluorescent light. Now, who puts a fluorescent light in their bedroom? I don't know. And one light switch. And I don't believe that this one has any outlets in it either. And we see one heating vent and all that. Now, cryptically, they left us 2 portraits, which I assume are some ancestors or maybe the people who owned this house at first. Just mysterious to know what's up with that. But they speak to me now. If they're ghosts, I assume they're good ghosts. Let's see if the light switch works. Now, this room is actually kind of bright and airy because of the double... Oh my God, look at that, the light goes on. That's the one electric thing up here. And there's a small closet over here, which again has that sloping section. So whatever I do with the rest of this, now this plaster looks actually mostly pretty good, but it's all coming down. And basically, so the sloping sections of the roof need particular insulation, attention, etc. Up here, the double windows in the top are, you know, just absolutely grand. They let in a lot of light. There's no storm window or screen up here, so that means they also let out a lot of heat. And the same with these other two. This one does, the two on the side do each have a storm window. And here's the chimney. Now, the chimney is brick. They've got the thimble exposed. That's the one that the forced hot air exhaust from the oil furnace goes up. I'm inclined to leave that there. It looks like there probably has been a leak around that from where the metal roof attaches to the chimney. It's too much to plan to try to take down the chimney and replace it at the same time as I'm trying to do all the rest of the insulation work. So I'm going to put redoing the chimney will be on some future to-do list, as long as when I take it off, it doesn't look like it's falling apart altogether. So that's basically what the upstairs looks like. And I'm kind of doing this video to get you an idea of what the baseline has been. As I've said in the blog, I think this house was a steal in as much as you can live in the part that's got the paneling while you're working on this part. And this part here has tremendous potential. It's not exactly falling in. I don't think there's structural stuff with the framing of the house. It's just fixing up the rest of it. My plan for today is to take off all of the woodwork and then start seeing what I need to do to take down the larger 4 by 8 foot pieces of stuff. So this one should actually go relatively neatly compared to some of the other sections of the house that I'll be working on. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll do a video of the secret room at some future time. Catch you later.